Hi everybody, Casey Zander here, and in today's video I'm in a bit of a time crunch, so I'm filming from my sauna, but nevertheless this is a message and this is a story that I want and desperately need to share with you. So the story that I'm going to be showing is most men today are completely blind to female nature, and the last thing I want you to do is spend your entire life grinding, hustling, chasing excellence, all to never take the time to actually learn the skills as to how to manage your dating and your relationship life for years and years to come. So this video is probably going to be, I don't want to say a bit of a tearjerker, but it's a sad story, and it's with a client that I'm working with. So I do have notes because there's a lot of points on this. So if I look down from time to time, that's why. So cut me some slack because there's a lot here I got to take in and remember. To dive in, okay, this client I'm working with one-to-one, he is been married for 5 years, okay, and there's been an intimacy struggle for over a year, okay. So he's been consistently trying to figure out, like, hey, why is she not interested in me in an intimate way? Why does my wife not view me as the type of guy that she wants? Why is there this constant tension? Why is there this constant testing, this constant frame control, this constant belittling? Okay, so there's a lot of truths arising to the surface, but it's not born out of diving for answers. It's born out of pain because the guy deep down desires his wife and the companionship. Well, here's what happens. Long story short, he all of a sudden goes one night, and I can't remember if it is like, the iPad or the cell phone or the computer, whatever it was. All of a sudden there's these messages, and he sees that his wife's cheating. Okay, and the reason why she's cheating is because there's a different man that she's seeing in a different state and in a different city, and he's completely blindsided and caught off guard. And here's why. Despite all of the relationship equity he was putting in, okay, what would that mean? That would mean like being there to support, his wife and the family, being there emotionally, okay, providing financially. All of those things that he thought would hold weight, okay, that would give leverage, or that would equal intimacy and genuine desire from a woman, only pushed his wife further and further away because of the loss of attraction over time. Okay, the second that the companion you're dating, or married to for that matter in this case, senses that you're controllable, or that you will acquiesce or routinely submit to the frame of the betterment of that situation to keep both appeased or happy, is the exact second that you lose the rigidity and the backbone and the strength and masculinity that actually turns on that companion in the first place. So he sees all these messages, right? He sees these, different sorts of outfits, buying for the trip, different sorts of, vulgar talk back and forth, like, ooh, I love this, I love that, that made me feel so good, XYZ. I'll let your imagination run wild for the get-go. But what I can tell you is this man is one of the hardest working people I've ever met. He's also one of the strongest, most resilient individuals in the workplace I've ever seen. And here's what I can tell you, okay? All of that, chasing excellence and building himself into the man that he wanted and needed to be for himself and ultimately for the family, did zero to hold any weight when it comes to the genuine desire of that woman that he was married to, and still is for that matter. So to move on to my next point, okay, he starts working with me, and he starts seeing all of these truths, and he starts seeing the exact way how to carry himself. And after going through all of the steps I've been showing him, such as the steps that I teach in MBT, or such as the steps that I teach inside the Masculinity Blueprint Accelerator, the guys in my one-to-one mentorships and coaching, all he had to say was, I wish I knew this sooner. And here's what I can tell you. For a man that might lose, hundreds of thousands in divorce and lawyer fees and whatnot, and lose majority of everything that he's worked for, what I can tell you is this. I have this jotted down word for word because that's how important this is. Had he had this mentorship before finding this companion, being able to spot the red flags and knowing what to do, he would have not been in this situation and would not be about to lose half of his net worth. The reason why I tell you this is guys spend so much time chasing excellence, so much time making money, building themselves into who they have to be, and they never take a second, they never stop and realize that the most important decision you will ever make in your entire life, the biggest financial decision you will ever make in your entire life, is the person that you choose to spend your life with. Now, some of you might say, "Oh, I'm not getting married." That's fine if that's your outlook, but here's what I can tell you. At some point, every single guy I've ever worked with or saw, they end up meeting somebody that they like, typically more than the other women they met online or at the bars or at the clubs, and that's just human nature, and you have to accept that. And another thing you have to accept is that will probably be you one day too. Had he had this mentorship sooner, he would not be losing majority of the assets, having to split custody with his child, and being in this loophole where he can't actually get out. And this is why I advise you. We have 2,000 seats available inside the Masculinity Blueprint that we are capping this at, and right now there is less than 200. And if you've been watching my videos over the past week, you know that we only have a couple hundred seats available before I shut this down for Q2, which is why I advise you to get into this, because this mentorship I see changes lives, and every single guy who's ever came into it, after the vault of 500 to 1,000 testimonials I've accumulated, the only thing people say is, "Hey, I wish I would have been in this sooner." And it can genuinely help on all levels. So what you can see, or what I saw as we continue with this story, is he was telling me word for word, my wife would consistently support my mission. She was consistently there for him. Think about that for a second. Yeah, honey, you chase success. You continue to make that money. You chase excellence. You do good. I don't mind if you work late. What was happening? It was the facilitation of his wife helping to empower his financial success. What did that lead him to? That led him to a bigger net worth. That led him to more money financially. That led him to a bigger house he just moved into. All for what reason? The reason is now, when his wife no longer needs him, not only is he kicked to the curb, so to speak, without the woman that he wanted in the home and without his child, but now he has to give up financially everything that he just worked for the past 5 to 10 years for. And I need you to let that sink in for a second. A thing that I need you to understand is that when the woman you're seeing has no genuine desire for you, before a breakup happens, before infidelity happens, this is typically planned out months or even years in advance. The security, right? The security that is such a good sense financially in the eyes of that wife, it was planned, and you can see that it's planned. And here's the funny thing about this is that oftentimes what you will see, the dark side of, female nature or hypergamy, is that this infidelity and this cheating, when you're classified as more of the provider instead of the alpha, what happens is that you'll be left with zero remorse. They will not feel a thing. They won't feel a thing. They won't feel a lick of sympathy. And not to mention, it will oftentimes be victimized, and they will say things such as, "Well, you pushed me away, so that's why I had to do this," as to assume that it's your fault. You see, this is the dark side of the deep psychological ways and pulls that this happens throughout almost every single relationship that is modern today. To continue this story, okay, the phrase I'm going to use is, "But wait, there's more." This gets even worse, okay? What I saw is that he told me verbatim, okay, the wife was spending close to $1,000 a day on his credit card. Okay, what was that used for? That was not used for family purchases. That was used for frivolous purchases. That was used for travel. That was used for designer bags. It might have been used for clothes, whatever the case may be. But what I can tell you is this happened with no remorse. Like, while he's sitting there heartbroken, the woman he's been married to for 5 years did not even care. And I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm not telling you this to make you fearful of dating. I'm telling you this so you understand just how important it is to wake up, to actually wake up and understand. So now, when he's left confused, only learning these truths when pain has occurred, here's what I can tell you. As he laid in a bed every single night by his wife, without any intimacy, here's what I can tell you. As he laid there every night and they said, "I love you," and he's getting no intimacy and consistently rejected, that woman was willing to go get a plane ticket, fly to a different state and a different city, disguise it as a girl's trip or a work trip, all to see the one guy that she has genuine burning desire for. Nothing, and I mean nothing, makes up for genuine burning desire. And watching me help this man dig himself out of the hole that he has put himself in mentally and emotionally is one of the most fulfilling things that I've ever done. And that's why not only do I advise you to take advantage of the select few seats of my mentorship, the MBT Masculinity Blueprint below, but what I advise you to do is, if you're just like this man I'm working with and you need help on a one-to-one level, you want inside access so that way I can actually coach you with my own personal time and give you a roadmap and a step-by-step process to truly become the person that I know you want to be, I advise you to go down below and book a call with my brother Cole for the full stack 1%er mentorship. He's going to identify your application. He's going to see if you're a good fit. And if you are a good fit, we will successfully extend the invitation out so that way you can work one-to-one with myself. But fellas, like, you definitely need to learn this. You need to see these processes, and you need to actually see life for what it is, not what you wish life was. And there's a big difference. So hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.